Hi, this is Joseph from NizhoniPhoto.com, and today we're going to talk about collections. Now, this is a pretty exciting lesson for me because we're actually learning about collections together. The reason why is that I've been using Lightroom for about 3.5, 4 years now, and to be honest, I've never really found much use with collections. They really didn't seem that useful to me. But while I was actually preparing this lesson, I did a little extra research on collections, and I found out that they're actually very, very helpful, and they have a lot of value in your workflow. So hopefully you will see the value in collections and you'll start using them as well. So to start with collections, it would be helpful to actually define what a collection is, because in all honesty, it is a little bit confusing. Uh, what a collection is, well, there's really two purposes of a collection. The first purpose, and I think the most mainly used purpose of a collection, is that it's an area where you can separate your best images from your stored archived library photos so that they're easier to view and to show off. A second use for collections is that you can use a collection as a temporary workspace for photos that you determine that they're works in progress, right? So if you have a photo and you want to maybe toy around with it a little bit here and there for a couple weeks or a couple days, you can separate it into a collection, and that way it's easy to find, it's separate from all of your other images, and it's just a lot more convenient than sifting through thousands of photos in your library to actually find that collection. So another important thing to understand with collections is that to really grasp what a collection is, you have to understand what the difference is between a photo that's in a collection and a photo that's actually in your folder. And here's the difference. The only real difference between a photo that's in your folder as opposed to a photo that's in a collection is that when you delete a photo from your collection, it still remains exactly where it's supposed to be in your folder. So you can make any kind of change you want to your image, whether it's in a collection or in a folder, and those changes are going to be identical with each other. Let me go ahead and show you this right now. So to create a collection, it's really easy. You just highlight the photos that you want to put into a collection. You click this plus button, and then you create a collection this way. So we'll just call this test, and we'll make sure that this button is clicked that says include selected photos, and we will click create. Now there we have our collection. Now if we make any kind of a change to any of these photos, let's say we're going to give this photo a 5-star rating. We're going to leave this photo alone. Let's go back to our folder. You see that this change was applied. Let's make this photo, let's give this a 3-star rating and go back to our collection. Now, here's one thing. The collections can be a little bit glitchy. Right now, Lightroom is not letting me get into this collection for some reason. It's a glitch in the system. So to get around this, you have to create a separate collection. Because sometimes if you can't get into your actual collection, you'll just have to create a new one so that way you can overcome that glitch. So anyways, getting back to what we were doing, this change here is applied to the photo in our collection. Now, while we're in this collection, let's go ahead and go into the Develop module, and let's just trash this exposure right now, like that. Okay, we'll go back to our folder, and you can see that this change was applied to the image that's in our folder. Now to tie it all together, we'll go back to our collection and we'll delete both of these photos. Delete, and they're gone. But they're still here in our folder. Let's go ahead and change this image back to normal. and come back to the question that's probably in your mind, and that is, well, what's the point of this? Why would I even care about editing in a collection when I could just as easily edit in a folder? Well, the reason why is because when you're working with images in your folder, it opens you up to a possibility to accidentally delete images inadvertently. This actually happened to me just a couple days ago. I actually put together a folder full of images for the video that I made on rating and color coding. And after the video was done and I worked with the photos, I accidentally deleted them and they were gone. Now, I was able to get those photos back, so it wasn't a big deal, but I realize now that a collection would have been an easier way to do that because I could have put those photos into the collection, worked with them, and then deleted them when I was done, and there would have been no risk of actually deleting my photos. So that's the main difference between folders and collections. All it is that photos that you delete in your collection are still going to be in your folder library where they need to be. And that's it. The next thing I want to talk about is a collection set. Now, what a collection set is picture a collection set as a file box. And a collection itself are the folders that are in the file box. That's all it is. It's just an organizational tool. So collection sets are really helpful. Well, for example, let's just go into making one right now. We're going to click the plus button, go to create a collection set, and we're going to call this the best of the best. We're going to hit enter, and there's our collection set. Okay, if you notice, it even looks like a file box. Okay, now these collections we've created, we can highlight them and we can add them to our collection set, and there they are. We can also highlight this collection set and we can create a collection, and as long as we have this check mark checked, this checkbox, add inside of a collection set, then this new collection will be inside of this set. Now we can rename these collections. Let's say we'll rename these 2014 and 2015. And now what we can do is we can go back into our library and we can maybe find the best images from 2014. We'll go ahead and filter our images down to 5 stars, and we can add photos into this collection. Now the easiest way to add photos into a collection is to just highlight them and drag them into the collection, just like that. It's as simple as that. We'll go ahead and delete this collection. Another useful thing could be, let's say we wanted to name this collection set Works in Progress. And now we'll name this collection, we'll say Sunsets. And maybe we'll name this one Landscapes. Now we'll go back to our folders, and let's see, this is a cool sunset, but let's say there's still more work to be done on that. But I don't want to really do it now. I'd like to come back to it later, so I'll just drag it into my collection, and there it'll be. I can maybe add these photos into this landscapes collection, and there they are. So that's collection sets. A smart collection is pretty much what you're going to use if you are creating collections as just a way to display your photos, right? You can create a smart collection, and what it'll do is you can tell the smart collection what metadata you want it to look for. So, as you see here, we have the smart collection. We don't want it to be within the collection set, so we'll uncheck this. We'll call this 5-star photos of 2015. I'm going to delete this, Now you can see what this is we can set our metadata here. Right now I have ratings set, but if we click, we have a bunch of different options. But to be honest, smart collections can be a little clunky and glitchy. The only things that I found to work reliably well are ratings and dates. That's it. Everything else, it doesn't work as well. So we're going to set a rating of 5 stars. We're going to set it as is, meaning that we just want to see our 5-star photos. We'll hit this plus button to add one more metadata filter. We'll go down to date, select capture date, and now we'll set this to is in the range. And since this is 2015, we're going to set this to the first day of 2015 and close to the last day of 2015. Let's see, so that would be 12-30. And there you go. Here's our smart collection. So what it's done is it's taken all of our 5-star photos from this year and it's put it in our smart collection. Now let's go to 2015. Let's see what happens if we add a let's just add a non 5-star image to, let's say this is a 5-star image. We're going to rate that as a 5-star. Now let's go back to our smart collection, and there it is. If we were to remove that 5-star rating, it's gone. So that's smart collections. It's really helpful to just separate your photos year from year. Now let's talk about quick collections. This is another really useful part of collections themselves. What a quick collection is it's a way to very quickly go through your photos and add whatever photo you want to a collection. Now, a quick collection itself, you can see it's up here. It's in this catalog tab, which is honestly a little bit out of the way, but it's up here. So let's say we go through these images and we want to set, whoops, let me get rid of that. Let's put this filter setting back on. Let's say I want to work on these. To add it to a quick collection, the easiest way to do it is to just tap the B key. And now you can see these photos are in my quick collection. Alright, now I can remove these from my quick collection by highlighting the images and tapping B again, and they're gone. I can put them back in. And another way to clear my quick collection is to right click it and click Clear Quick Collection, and they are gone. But what's even more useful than quick collections is targeted collections. What a targeted collection is when you tap the B key, rather than your photos going to this quick collection up here, which honestly isn't really that helpful, a targeted collection will send the photos that are meant for your quick collection into the targeted collection. So it's a lot more useful. So let's create a collection. We're going to call this Sunsets. And we're going to click this icon, Set as a Target Collection. Now notice this check mark right next to the quick collection. Okay? We're going to hit the Create key. And look, that's a plus mark, not a check mark. It's gone from the quick collection and it's down by the sunset. That's because that plus indicates that this collection is set as a targeted collection. So now I can go through my photos, and any photo that I tap B with, it's going to go right to my targeted collection. Do that, let's do that, let's do that. And there they are, right in my targeted collection. So again, I can work on all of these photos, and all of the changes that I do will be applied into my actual photos in my library, but I can delete these and I don't run the risk of deleting my actual photos. Now, one question you might have is, well, what if I have my photo edited to where I want it perfectly, and I don't want to risk messing up the edits that I've worked so hard to do? To overcome that, you have to create a snapshot. I'm going to have a whole separate video on snapshots, so stay tuned for that. And with that said, that's really all I have to say about collections. So stay tuned, and hopefully you found this video helpful. See ya.